So how you doing, bro?
I'm going good, man. We live.
All right, cool.
What is good in your hood, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Diverse Comics and Pop. And I'm your boy Raymond Leonard coming through. And today we got a real big special guest today from across the pond, from South London. His name was Wayne Riley. Let me tell y'all something, man. This man is the truth. This guy got a lot going on, man, and I'm glad to have him on for today.
Too
And we
much.
finna get ready to talk a lot of shop, man. So get y'all popcorn ready. We finna have a lot of fun, but we'll introduce my man. Go ahead, take it, Wayne. Let everybody know what you're about.
Yeah, big up to everyone listening. I'm Wayne Riley, comic book creator slash animator. I do a lot of other stuff now, but I'm basically one of the directors of All Nights Limited. We self-published a few comics like a little while ago now. It was quite some time ago. And we've just been doing the whole independent comic thing for years. Like, we've done comic conventions over here in London. We've done like a lot of Black cultural events as well. And like, we've always focused on like Black superheroes. So basically, I mean, it was a long time ago that we started. So I was very passionate about the whole Black superhero thing because of the lack of seeing it. And it's funny because ever since we came into the game saying that, that's almost like the intro for every Black creative now. Oh, there was a lack of Black characters. And I'm
Right.
like, you're capping because there's loads of people doing it now. Like, it's like everyone's origin story. There was a lack of Black characters. I'm like, please, like, if you've got into the Black superhero space in the last 5 years and your argument is you haven't seen, there's been a lack of diversity, it's just because you've not been around and you're not in a circle. People are everywhere. Mashindu Kumba, Stanley Weaver, Chris Miller, Raymond Leonard, Brandon Easton. Help me out here, Ray, because I know there's I see these people every day on
there's so
social.
many other Black creators. You have you have what's the guy's name that do all the he does the pilot, the pilots, the Black pilots, man, the Tuskegee Airmen dude.
Yeah. That's Marcus Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Williams. No,
And
good artist, man. It's so many of us, man. And it's that I
Jason
salute us,
Reeves.
man, because we're really putting out, we're putting out some high quality, comics. This ain't no Ricky Dink shit we doing. You know what I'm saying? And that's why that's why I do what I do on my side and your side. It's like we push that because it's original content. You see what I'm saying? It's original. It's not a handy down character. It's not another image of something that's already been out for decades. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to create heroes of color. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a voice, man. And like I said before, like we was looking at that Into the Spider-Verse with the 14-year-old animator.
We're gonna talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it with that. But you see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So
well,
how long you been? What made you get into comics, man? How long you been doing this, man?
Well, to be honest, it's been well over a decade now.
Really?
I'd even go as far as to say, when did I forgot even when All Night started now, because we started over a decade ago. That's what I'm saying. So, let's say for argument's sake, within the space of 15 years, like that's when I started to get into it hard, because contrary to popular belief, I wasn't into comics during the golden age of comics. I wasn't really interested. Well, okay, that's a lie. I was into it. I was into it a little bit. I mean, my mum was into comics more than me. Like, she would take me to the comics. That's when there was comic stores in London, and she would go to the comic stores and buy stuff, like get like the proper rare stuff as well in the plastic. And I was just a kid. I wasn't really into it the way she was. And then one of my uncles, he was into it hard. He had crates of it, and we would just stay at his house and we would just read it. So, but that wasn't enough to get me into it. But it was only when I left university when I binge watched the whole seasons of Justice League, and that got me drawing again. And when I say Justice League, I'm talking the Dwayne McDuffie Justice League, that one.
Yeah, the first that's the first series.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
first,
So
yeah, yeah.
I was watching all of that, and I was just like, okay. And then I started binge watching all the cartoons that I watched as a kid, but I didn't watch every episode. So Transformers, Thundercats, and Rare Tear. So basically, I was more into animation than comics. Then, when I started to discover all the independent comic book creators like Chris Miller, shout out to him. He's who I would call my would I say mentor? Yeah, I'd say he's definitely a mentor. And then there was other people like Mashindu Kumba, everyone else, you know, yourself and whatnot. I just started meeting people as we started going along. And then I just started drawing again. And then after I started drawing, I originally went to do animation first. But then when I started looking into the origin characters of all my favorite cartoons, I realized that basically it would be good to have like the stories in comic book form first. So you've got like a lot of source material. So then I took a step back and said, right, I'm going to do comics first. And animation, as you know, takes a long time. And then we just did comics, and then comics kind of took the majority of our time. And then after that, we did animation and comics, and that was pretty much it. And the rest is history. Since then, we've done a lot of, like I said, comic conventions, cultural events, what have you.
Yeah, man, that all nice is deep in the game out there, man. When you came up with your universe, was this like something you always wanted to do, like certain movies that you loved and you wanted to create all nights, like the universe you built, like with the hard universe? Was it
I mean, yeah, because I had like a few characters in my mind, but how I write, I end up drawing first. I have an idea in my head, I'll just draw a character. I said, right, this character's such and such, and the powers are this, and the backstory is that, and blah, blah, blah. And then afterwards, I just make a story around it. And then it started with my character called Nathaniel Nuke, who are based on, it was like a futuristic version of Nat Turner. So that's where it started. And then I just started making more characters after that. And then it was actually mostly black female characters I was making, if I'm honest, because I just find women easier to draw.
Yeah.
Well, I say easier. I'm used to it. You know what I mean? Everyone watching this knows what I mean.
Hey, man, I had to keep studying women, man, because that was kind of like my weakness till I started studying to get them right.
Yeah,
I was like shy away.
my pencil's continuously doing this, you know. So enough said. So yeah, I just started drawing lots of characters, and then the universe that we made, it kind of just it ended up being expanded from each character that we made. So every character we made, we had like an origin story, and that was just when I was starting in science fiction. Then I started doing African mythology and started making up characters based upon just like old tales. So stuff like Anansi Spider-Man, you know, just like the ancient African stories, like whether it's ancient Egypt and what have you. You just, you know, I think everyone goes through that phase where they make like a pharaoh character or what have you. And then, yeah, we just made lots of different characters. And right now I've covered science fiction, I've covered mythology. Now I'm doing a lot more gritty street kind of drama as well. Because it's like the storyboard I posted up the other day. You know, I just started doing a lot more of that because I've always liked that kind of element of stuff. I know there's popularity in shows like Top Boy and what have you. So it's like the right time now. So I just kind of wanted to be, as your name suggests, a bit more diverse in terms of the stuff that I feel.
The fun you have, man, is just bananas. Shout out to Tough Nerd Toys. What's going on, bro? Thanks for joining us, man. Your universe, man, is bananas. I see you working on your animation, man. And I was like, hold on, what this dude doing, man? And it's like first you went with the cars. I seen you doing the car thing. Then the car thing became a barbershop. Then the barbershop became people. People became women. I'm like, hold on. This dude on to some shit here, man. He on to something here. And the more progress I see of it, man, I see that coming to life, man. I mean, when you get that production, are you going to try to, like, you know, shop it around or get it, you know, or you just you're gonna do your own thing with it? Because man, I mean, what you got working there, bro, is is
Well,
always is nuts.
well, to answer that, basically, firstly, I wasn't really sold on the idea of trying to sell my content to a company because you're
Mhm.
hearing all the horror stories all the time. But
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's down to people just not reading their contracts. But I basically decided that I don't mind partnering with a big company or selling some intellectual property, but others I'd want to keep. So, for example, the barbershop one that you was talking about, the hairdresser one, that's
Hmm.
something that I actually created a long time ago. It's only now you're seeing it. And in terms of
Wow.
the cars are just something I like drawing because with those you can kind of like reuse those assets. So once I draw like a BMW X5 or something or an X6, you animate the wheels. I can use that again. I can let some of my other animation friends borrow it for you know what I mean? Like it's a reusable asset basically. So I draw the front, the back, the top, everything. And then when it comes to certain scenes and I decide, you know what, I need those cars for a particular scene, I just use it. It's the same as like hip hop videos when they use the same models and that kind of stuff. So it's just reusable assets.
The
So
culture is definitely there with your with the animation, bro. Shout out to so I'm saying your name right. So Vanguard. He said Rain said you got the project animation coming out. Watch out.
of course. I mean, and with the whole barbershop thing, that's actually a comedy. It's funny, I didn't even mention that before. So, like I said,
Really?
I've got science fiction covered, I've got African mythology covered, and I've got like the urban crime drama kind of thing covered as well. But now I'm doing comedy as well. So basically the barbershop is a comedy set between a barbershop and a hairdresser's. So in the hairdressers, the women are talking what they're talking, and then you'll see the interaction or like the flip side of what they're saying when the men start talking in the barbershop. And that's all it is really. And I'm just going to use it to make some comedy. We might make some jokes, almost like, you know, the stuff that you might have saw Kevin Samuels talking about, or
Yeah.
Cynthia G, all these
Yeah.
characters, all these people.
Yeah,
I mean,
man. So pretty
I
much
just want to use.
you putting what's going on in today's current life situations with the whole YouTube podcasters.
Yeah.
What's the white chick's name?
Oh,
Just pearly things.
well,
Yeah,
stop there.
I can see
Wait,
that.
stop there. Stop there. I'm not calling it pearly things. I'm calling it pearly way because there's actually an area in this area. No, no, no. There's an area here in London or just outside of London called Pearly Way. So that's
Really?
how I'm going to. Yeah, yeah. But it's not spelled pearl. It's spelled like Purley. So it's called Pearly Way. So I'm just going to call it the Pearly Way podcast. And even the other dude, I'm not going to say his name, but anyway, he's called King something. I've decided to make a version of that, but I've called it Prince in Celebrity. So it's got the word incel, and it's just comedy. That's all it is. It's just like some jokes and whatnot. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And it's just like some comedy, basically. Anyone that's following my social media, they'll be able to see what I've been doing anyway. So it's all over my YouTube, my Instagram, and what have you.
That is correct, Vanguard. Yeah, Anna Barbera always reuse stuff, and because they did it with Johnny Quest and everything else. So yeah, you that's right about that. Now, Wayne, like you're like how you create, man? Because like I be like you really be like surprised me how your whole movement is, man. Because when I be up drawing, I'm like, man, this dude up drawing too. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like what four. It'd be like 3 o'clock here, and I see you be up, man. And you be posting the
Um,
animated stuff, man. I'm like, man, he put in that work, man. So is it a time that you set for you to work? Because I know, saying you got other things going on. So is it a time when you do your thing, or it just you just get to it when you know what I'm saying, how you work?
to answer that, basically, firstly, don't forget you're 6 hours behind us because the time
Yeah.
for you now, I mean, it's 11 p.m. for us now, so it's like 40
Uh-huh.
minutes to midnight. That's the first thing. But I stay up until about maybe the latest I've stayed up till like 6 in the morning sometimes. It just depends on what the feeling is. If like I'm in the mood to do some artwork, because I'm just in the zone. I'll just keep drawing and I don't go sleep until I go sleep. But then bear in mind, I've got a job as well. So I do work and I've got a flexible job. But fortunately, I've got a job that I can get away with doing some of my work while I'm at work. So that helps a lot. Sometimes I'll just be in my car and I've got my laptop. No, I'm not an Uber driver. I've got my laptop and all sorts. And yeah, I've got all of it. It's almost like my car becomes my studio sometimes. So this room that I'm in now, I'm not even in here as often as I'd like, but I just get the work done when I want it. I've got my laptop on me at all times. I've also got a pencil and paper with me at all times. Basically, pencil and paper and my laptop is never too far away, and I'll just work whenever I feel like it. I could be at someone else's house, and you know, if there's nothing going on,
as long as you got whatever you got on you to, you know what I'm saying, keep it going. Happy hour in the house. Hey, what's going on? Happy hour.
How you doing, bro?
Man, like, you know what? I was gonna ask you. I got some big questions to ask you, Rain, man. Like, what was like your favorite hero? Like, did you have like a favorite character? Was it a favorite character of yours that you was interested in before you jumped in the game, bro?
Okay, so my favorite characters were, pay close attention. Batman was one because I grew up, but that used to come on every Saturday, so I would watch that. Another one of my favorite characters, Ultra Magnus. Yeah, I think he would have been the best Autobot leader. I'm just saying.
Tell everybody that, but everybody want to say, "Well, Optimus Prime." We won't get to that in a minute. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that Transformers shit. You already know me and you how we get down with that.
Yeah. So yeah, Ultra Magnus, Batman, and I would say Colossus as well. He was one of my favorites. And after that, I can't really think of. I like Tigra from the Thundercats as well. But after that, there wasn't really any favorite ones I had when I was younger. Not really. But those were the ones, anyway, that I liked.
Okay. What's going on, best friend? I see you. Turk Nortoy said, yeah, Ultraman, he agreeing with you. He's saying that Ultraman was the man. I keep agreeing with everybody. Okay, we finna get with Transformers right now, y'all. We finna get down with this shit. All right, check this out, man. I grew up with 86, man. Like 86 Transformers was my thing. I was 8 years old, like 7 going on 8. Now, when they start bringing them new characters in, I like to have Rod at first until he's just a shitty ass leader, man.
Don't say that.
He's a shitty leader.
Don't say that, man. Don't say that. That's
I just can't get with him, man. I can't get with him, bro. I just couldn't. Dude, you remember the first season when they bring him out as the leader? He's gonna die again on that planet when Galvatron was busting at his ass, and he's about to give up and die again. I'm like, man, please kill this dude off, man.
Listen, I won't hear any bad talk of that character. I won't tolerate it. Anyone that anyone that don't like him, I'll block you. No, I'm joking. It ain't that serious. But it is what it is. We take these things personal sometimes, but no, that's, like I said, that's just a preference, really. I mean, I get it. Some people have got other favorites for different reasons, because I realize sometimes it's about when you discover a character. It's all about the certain point in time of your life that you discover them, why they become your favorites. It's the same as music. Sometimes you like certain songs because it reminds you of a place that you was when you heard it. So it's not necessarily about the song. It's about where you was as well, what you was going through at the time. If it was a happy time in your life, it might have been a song that you heard as you was studying to graduate or what have you, or just before you was getting married or whatever. It just represents, sometimes when you got favorite things like that, it represents a mark in your life, not just the character itself.
Okay, we got Transformers in here. Pop it, man. We got Tough Naruto says, who later didn't want to be a leader. They talk about Rodimus Prime, bogus ass. Hey, what's going on, Earl? Earl saying that, hey, Ray, gotta love the Insecticons. Hey, Insecticons they was all good, but they didn't really get a big part of the movie. They got ran over more like they got squashed like bugs.
Yeah.
They said they did Ultra Magnus dirty. Yeah, they did him dirty, man. They did him real dirty.
But so yeah, like I said, those are just like the favorite cartoons and characters and what have you, and they definitely influence the way that I draw, because I've always got a habit of drawing metallic parts on characters, and I think that's because of how much Transformers that I watched when I was growing up. So the superhero element would come from things like Superman. I mean, not Superman, Batman, and then
Batman.
the robotic version kind of side of things that would come more from the Transformers stuff that I watched.
Yeah.
So that
For me, it was like what transpired me into creating the way I create stuff. It was the $6 Million Man.
Okay.
It was a Mission Impossible TV show because I grew up on like a lot of TV shows. Then you had like Captain America, of course, the Captain America comic books. Then you had G.I. Joe. Then you had Spectre Man, Ultraman. All this stuff was on TV, man. My little man is consuming all this, man. And so I would try to draw these characters and stuff, and that sticks with me. That's why I start forming my stuff. And
so here's my
like
question.
you can see it in the work. Why I create things.
Here's my question to you then, regarding what you just said. I mean, some people, they don't want to say their age. I'll say how old I am. I'm 43 now. So, and basically, when I grew up, the only time cartoons would really come on would be just after school. So like maybe from 4 o'clock onwards, you get that period of like maybe from 4 o'clock in the week till 5 o'clock. You would have like whatever cartoons would come on. And then afterwards, that's when all the soap operas came on, and then that was it. And then on Saturday morning, you would obviously have Saturday morning cartoons. And you'd also have some on Sundays. But bear in mind, in the UK at the time, we only had 4 channels, 1 to 4. Whereas some people later on, we got lucky, and some of us had Sky TV. So we would have access to more things. Because when I grew up, I didn't get to see the X-Men that much. That's why.
The animated series?
Yeah, I didn't get to see it that much.
Really?
It came on Saturday. Yeah, it came on Saturdays in the morning. But when it came on, I had to leave the house because I had to go to Saturday school. So I
you know what? Man, you was kind of like in the same boat because I had got a free ride to our institute. So Saturdays, my uncle would take me to our institute downtown to go to our institute classes. And thank God for VHS. You can record them. So I was recording them. That's the only way I can find out. I can look at them when I get home from art school. So I can feel you on that one, man.
Yeah, so I didn't really get to see everything as much as other people did. So I think that's probably why I've got such a preference for DC over Marvel. It's not necessarily because I necessarily think it's better or what have you. It's just what I became accustomed to.
Right. Yeah, man. It's like, when you create, man, I create like what I like. You know what I'm saying? I don't go by trying to fit in with today's modern day comics, trying to preach to people about things. I just like making fun shit, man, and making them think, just think about stuff what I create, man. I don't try to preach. What do you think about today's comics, man? Where do you see these comics heading, bro?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you straight, the comics, because this is the thing, I don't even think the comic industry exists anymore. I think it's more like, when people hear me say that, don't take it the wrong way. What I mean by not existing, it's not going to be where kids are rushing to buy a comic book when it comes out, because it's not even like that anymore. It's more like, it's almost like it's a culture that's kept together by the old school people like yourself and other people that grew up reading comics that are still passionate about it, and then how they communicate with tech companies that make apps, and they put these comics on their apps and what have you. So basically, old school comic heads end up becoming the bridge between what comics are or were and what they can be in modern day media. Hence why you're seeing all these superhero movies now, because all the films that's come out without origins, they tend to not really be that good. They've been okay, but they're not that good. They're not necessarily memorable. And I've also found it confusing that shows films like Bloodshot, that's from Valiant Comics, isn't it? Or is that from?
Oh yeah, man, that was a huge. I wanted to enjoy that so much, man, but it just the flavor just wasn't there. It just wasn't there.
It to be a lot better, but I think, I don't know, I don't even know what to blame that on, but I just think the future of comics now, if it relies solely upon film and media, I don't know. I think it's going to turn into something else. And as you know, comic heads, we're getting older. Some of us are, we're losing some of our greats and what have you. So in the end,
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be something where you'll see someone draw pages, but people aren't really going to be doing sequentials as much. It's going to be something that only us guys do.
Yeah,
You know?
I believe that, because then you got AI, man. That AI that's
AI is actually the least of our worries. So I tell you why, because
yeah.
I know I tease people about the AI thing a lot, because I don't really mess with AI like that. I mean, I don't mind using AI to help me do animation to help the work easier. But at the end of the day, I think it's always important to have that skill to know how to draw pencil and paper straight up, straight like that. If you can't do that, you ain't an artist to me. It's the same as like if you're a rapper. If you don't write your own rhymes, you ain't a rapper. This is why when I see some people that like Drake, I kind of side eye him a bit, because I'm like, this dude don't write his lyrics, but I get it. He's a star now. But my point is, you need to be capable of freestyling and writing your stuff, or you ain't a rapper to me. And it's the same thing with art. If you can't draw a pencil on paper comfortably, then you've got no business.
Exactly.
You can be
Another thing
an artist. You can be an artist, but you need to be in a different category.
Exactly. And also, you shouldn't. I don't worry about AI, because if you brand yourself, you ain't got to worry about that shit, man.
Yeah.
You ain't got to worry about it, because if you brand yourself already, you could be using that shit just to be doing some extra shit with your characters. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You know, so that's why I don't panic like that. We'll get to these chat comments. So Vigard, he said Centurions and Cops are buying 6. Yo, yeah, I grew up on that too, bro. Tough Nerd Toy said, over here in Jersey, our daily cartoons would come on from 5:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. and after school 12. Yeah, exactly the same thing they did in Chicago here. Dr. Ben said, we got to get our kids into reading with good comics, make our own with crowdfunding comics. These were the questions that came in.
Right. Say that last one, because I have got a response. Say just confirm
Dr.
that last
Ben,
one again.
Okay, Dr. Ben, he said, we got to get kids into reading with good comics, make our own with crowdfunding comics.
I agree, but as I said, I'm 43, right? I've got a grandson. He's 6 in July, and when I'll keep it real, the attention span of a lot of these youngsters now, and not even just youngsters, adults as well. I'm not sure it's going to translate as well, because people don't necessarily pay attention to the details no more. It's like social media, like things like TikTok, everything's broken down into like a 30-second clip or a 1-minute clip. And it's like people pay less attention. People share articles.
It's almost like they want to look at some quick and get it over with. They on to the next thing.
Yeah. And it's like, because of that, as much as I do like the idea of reading to children and showing them these things, and obviously showing them like the origins and what have you, and getting them to appreciate the journey of any character that we create, the attention span ain't there. And eventually you're going to find yourself in a situation where you've made all this content that they're almost not paying attention to. There's got to be a new way to communicate this to people, basically. And I think a lot of us need to learn how to develop apps that can host our comics. That way people can get the stuff on their phone.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer of that. And just create your IPs. You know, like me, man. I just recently jumped in the toy game. You know what I'm saying? I jumped in the toy game. I started learning more about it. I started looking it up, Googling shit, use YouTube. I just try to look for information. You know what I'm saying? I found information how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can do whatever you want. We live in town now, you can do whatever you want. It's just that people, I just wish people would see that, but they too, everything Marvel give them, oh my God, Marvel gonna give us Little Mermaid. Oh my God, you know.
Well, the thing is, the thing is, right? You're from Chicago. Well, that's where you're at now, right? That's where you live now, Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago.
I don't know much about Chicago. I mean, I know I've got a few friends that I think they live there on Facebook and what have you. But like, how is Chicago broken down? Have you got different like towns within Chicago?
Yeah, man, you got different towns. Like I'm on the south side. You got south side is like, south side of Chicago is more busy. It's busy as hell on the south side of Chicago. Like everything be going on here, man. You got the food. You got food all over the place. Then you got up north. See, up north we call Boys Town. Boys Town is, is LBGT. You know what I'm saying? That's up north. Then
Right.
you got out west. Out west is different because they hold slang different, they talk different, they dress different. They could tell we just could tell we from different sides, you know what I'm saying? So if I go out there, they don't know I'm totally different because my slang, how I talk, totally different how they talk. So they know I'm from the south side. Then you got your
Right.
east end, you got east side. East side Chicago is more wild, man. I mean they wild, bro. It's like it's wild out there. So it's Chicago's a real big city, man. You got all your gangs here, man. I'm talking, you got all your gangs. There's so many gangs here, it's ridiculous. It's more gangs than police, you know.
Right. So the reason I'm asking is because in
uh-huh.
Chicago now, do you have like small events that you could? Do you have small events that could maybe be beneficial for anyone doing comics? Like, is there an event
Yeah, we
anywhere in
have
Chicago you can do
now.
that?
If you want to do now, like the big shows here, C2E2, that's the big convention here. Then you have
Yeah.
Wizard World Chicago, but C2E2 is still the biggest convention. They crash Wizard World, but it's C2E2. Then you had your small. See, then you had these small cons here like Cake. Then you had the art tent show. You got little stuff like that, little vendors that you can do. You can like
Mm.
do your work, and what I'm saying, if you're on a smaller scale, but the big con is C2E2. And man, let me tell you something. For that to be in my own backyard, it'd be hard for me to get in, but it's easy for me to get in now since I got a lot of name under my belt now. But at first it was hard getting in because man, it was just so hard getting in, man. It's hard getting that sucker, man. And it's C2E2, and the table cost is hell. But you know what I'm saying? I don't even worry about the table cost because I make my money back from that. But man, that's the most
Okay. So
that's getting that show, man. You lucky to get in.
right. So here's my next question then, because it's pretty much the same here. But are there events that
Yeah,
are like smaller? Are there like smaller events? You get those as local events that people have.
yeah.
Do you have those as well? Do you
Yeah, we got
exhibit at
those.
those
Yeah,
kind of things?
I'm doing one in September. I'm here in Chicago, man. It's called G-Con. It's a one day show. It's gonna be here in Chicago on the South Side, man. So I'm doing that one. So yeah, we have some small ones. We have a lot of small. We just like you gotta know. How some shows you just don't know if only if you got like a word of mouth.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you know by word of mouth, then you'll know it's a small show going on. That's how it operates here. It's like it's so many of them, man. You like they there's so many conventions now. You're like, damn, they had a what? A MegaCon? What?
Because what I've discovered is we've got a similar situation here, but we have smaller events too.
Yeah,
But because of the money that it costs to exhibit at one of the big events, it ends up not really being cost effective to go, because by the time you pay for the table, by the time you've done all of that, even if you sold like a certain amount of comics, you're not going to make your money back, because the money that you spent to make the comics in the first place, you got to make that back too. So it's almost
yep,
like you're running at a loss. So what's happened is, I know that the MCM Comic Con that we had over here, last time I checked, getting a table there was like £300. It's probably more now. But what I'm saying
yeah,
is £300 for like over the duration of, say, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or maybe just a Saturday and a Sunday.
yeah,
To make that money back, depending how much you're selling your comics for, you're going to have to basically sell a lot. But then even if you do that, that only justifies you being there that weekend. What covers you for the money that you spent on getting your comics printed? So then what happens is, when we go to some of these smaller events that cost a lot less to be there, you can go to an event that might cost you maybe £50, but we
yeah,
actually end up selling more there in the one day than we did at one of the big comic conventions that cost £300 for a table over a weekend. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So
yeah, yeah.
sometimes you got to look at the numbers for what it is, because it might look prestigious that you're at a comic convention and, hey, look at me, I'm at this
That
nice comic convention.
exactly.
But a lot
Yeah,
of
right.
people,
See, people don't understand that they not thinking that you got to make this money back to put back in the book, and that's why how I do mine when I'm selling, when I'm doing how my setup is. I have my books, and I have some prints that I have original artwork. So I'm drawing half the time, and all the stuff is selling. So that original
yeah,
artwork I'm drawing, that's really good. That's really bringing in the money. It's really bringing everything in. So I really like, I'm straight. That's why I say when I'm doing conventions, I make sure I'm always drawing, man, because people love that shit. They coming to you. They don't buy your stuff because they're like, man, let me get this and that, because you already got what a fairy character I done did for them. After that, they buying the books and I'm signing them, and that's how you create your fan base. Because let's be honest, man, everybody gonna want the Hulk. They gonna want you to draw Batman. They gonna want you to draw all these damn characters, man. But at the end of the day, if you hold your conversation right with these people, they're gonna buy your book. And they're gonna come back. If you do the next show, whatever, they come back.
Well,
But that's why I try to tell people to be versatile when you try to be as versatile as possible when you doing these shows, because if you don't, you're gonna be sitting in the red. Cause them tables, man, the tables here, $460.
But that's why it's important to have a website as well, so that sometimes people might not even buy from you when they see you, but then if they know what your website is, they might buy from you like the next day or something. Because there was times we was doing market stalls as well, like just normal market stalls in the weekday. We did Greenwich Market as well for a little while, and what was happening? We would be there and we'd sell, but not even one book sometimes. Like sometimes you sell just one thing. But what would happen, even though we didn't sell nothing the next day we're noticing just sales coming through. And I'm thinking, oh, I wonder who that came from. And then I realized because of the promotion that we had of the banners of our website and all the characters in the background when we're exhibiting at some of these events and what have you, some people remember it and they just buy from, some people prefer to buy from you online, basically, rather than in person. Because sometimes
I think that's where the market's heading anyway. People just love buying online, man. I mean, if you look at the stores, I don't know how the stores out there where you at, but here we get a lot of stores that like closing down because people just buy online now. People just buy shit online, man. They just don't like going to the store no more. They just like getting online, like pressing the button, and it's here at your front doorstep. You know what I'm saying? The next day or the next 4 days. You know what I'm saying? So we living in that digital era now. Everything is digital. Press a button and it's sent to you.
I went to Forbidden Planet, which is in Shaftesbury Avenue. That's in central London, over here. I went there not too long ago with my grandson, and this is a place I used to go to a lot to buy comics back in the day. And I'm not that long ago, maybe before the pandemic. But when I went there with my grandson not too long ago, it's like there was hardly anything there. Like the amount of comics that they used to have in comparison to how much they got now, it's almost like, I would say it's even less than half of what they had on the shelves before. So that tells me that they're obviously not moving as much product as they used to. And as a result, they've got to sell other stuff. So whether it's T-shirts or memorabilia, toys, or what have you, because books ain't even doing it. Even at the comic conventions, people will come to a comic convention, but they're coming just to take pictures with the people doing
with the stars. By the time they get to you, oh, I'm sorry, I'm broke.
So now what I'm thinking, I just need to get an Instagram model to model some of the female characters that I got and make her come and walk around the comic convention.
Well, I did that in LA when I had my used to friend and he dressed up as Agent Solo, because I was smart, because I knew that if I needed something that attract to my booth. So that's why I had got that suit made. And I had him, go around as Agent Solo, and they attract I got traffic to my table just because having him dressed as the character, because they never seen him. They're like, "What the fuck is you?" Like, "There's a comic book of you? Where?" And he'll bring them back to the table, and it was a smart thing to do.
So wait, let me show you something. Hold on, wait there. Let me get it. So I don't know if some people may have seen this, but like,
shit.
Yeah. So this is that's a character that I made. Remember I told you about the African mythology stuff.
Yeah.
That's a character called Lamia. That's just a side character. I didn't even give her a proper name. And then this is a character that Felicia made called Queen Desire. And it's like, that's part of the story for even though she's got her own comic that I've made already, I just haven't put it out. There's like a joint universe and a joint story, and we've called it Chaos Kingdom, spelled Kaol. And basically that character there, or that picture, when we posted it on social media years ago, all of the conscious pages, they took the picture and they started, putting up the quotes about XYZ, strong woman and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, clearly they like the image of it. So what I've always said, I'd want to get a woman to cosplay as those characters to be at a comic convention. Has to be a black woman, but at the same time, you got to bear in mind that's something they're going to be doing. They're going to be walking around a comic convention all day. That's tiring work. So I'd have to pay them for that. You're gonna have to feed them. You're gonna have to feed them, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider. But you got to ask yourself, what's the return on investment when you do that? Are these going to help you sell the books or what have you? This is why, if I was to do that, that's what I would like to do one day. I'd make sure that I've got like a ton load of books to sell, so that hopefully the return on it could be that, after having someone model it like that, sell a lot of books. We'll see. You never know. But just like I said before, you're spending all that money to be in a comic convention. Now you got to pay for a model. And I don't know. I don't know how financially sustainable that is, if it is at all.
Yeah, it's all about having that plan, bro. It's all having a plan. See, with this is going to be an exclusive cover. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
There's going to be an exclusive cover when I can do another convention. And it's gonna have it's gonna have a YouTube stat right there, because it's gonna be the YouTube version. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's gonna be like the diverse kind of YouTube version. It's gonna be exclusive. It's gonna be only limited these. You know what I'm saying? Foil and chrome cover. So it's gonna be exclusive.
Let me tell you something, and I'll say this to all the comic book creators on my Facebook right now. Whether it's Stalker, yes, Stanley Weaver, I said Stalker. Whether it's Agent Solo. Whether it's Tech Watch by Raddy Lewis, all of these characters I've drawn, I just haven't shown you.
Man, come on, man. Stop playing.
And what I'm saying is, when I do like, when I do like the character style sheets for like turnarounds for characters for animation. Oh, I've been done that for years. I've been watching all of you guys.
So you be lurking in the. You be lurking in them corners and shit, man.
I've done it. I've done it. And one day I'll just send it to certain guys. I'll be like, yo, I did this, I've got the character style sheet. I don't know if you plan on doing animation one day, but I done that for you. There you go. And I might do a little short video or something, and you might see some character running from, you'll be like, hold on, isn't that Raddy's character from Tech Watch? Hold on, that's Agent Solo.
You gotta give me some love on one of them covers, man. Them hardware covers, bro. Cause them covers are going crazy, bro. The covers are going crazy. I seen the work and shit. The shit is just bananas right now. I'm feeling all that.
Like I said, man, I've been watching I've been watching what everyone's doing. Even like the writers like Milton Davis, John F. Allen,
Ariel Bell is a great nut. He's another great writer. He's from Chicago. He be throwing down on them books and stuff, man. Hell of a writer.
Yeah, so
Jason Weiss. I like Jason Weiss shit. He be busting. There's so many of us, man. I be trying to support everyone, man, because we got great stories to tell, man. And I'm I just wish people could see it, man. Like, see more of it, because it's just not Disney. This is not Disney. It just irks me when I see that. Like they just putting out these content. They not. It's just repackaged shit, But I'm not mad, and then it's just that I just know we got original Black creator-owned characters that need that spotlight. Because look what they doing with their there's an African folklore they telling on Disney right now. It was I can't think his name. He had that before he actually came out. I can't think his name right now because it's not taking the but he had an African folklore just like that. I think it was Golden Sands or something.
Oh, Black Sands,
yeah. It was like that. And I see that, I'm like,
I think his name's
don't think that people ain't paying attention, man. They see that shit. They know what time it is. That's when they capitalize on the market of it. See what I'm saying?
Well, regarding him, because I think that's Emmanuel Good. I think his name is. I can't.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good? Yeah. So his artwork is astounding. Like, but the thing is, because I remember when All Nights had a Facebook page, he was one of the friends on there, and we would, obviously support each other's work and stuff, sharing and what have you. But one thing I've noticed about him, and this isn't a critique, by the way, it's like I saw the artwork, but I never actually saw, because I haven't got one of the books. So, and I know he was working on animation, and I saw like some of the works in progress, and I'm subscribed to the channel and everything. Because it's like 1 minute I'm thinking it's a game, but it was no, not a game, a cartoon. But then I realized it was a role playing card game or something. So I was unable to really get into what he does, but I've always liked the artwork. But what I will say, the guy that does his music, I can't pronounce his name, Matashi. I asked him where he got his score music made, and he directed me to him. And I actually spoke to that dude, and he done some music for me for Chaos Kingdom. It's on my YouTube channel now. He did like a very Game of Thrones-ish kind of African mythology kind of soundtrack kind of thing. But back to what I was saying about my man that does Black Sands, it's like I like what he does. I just haven't been able to get into it as much. And obviously now, because he's on social media really heavy, it's almost like he's more of a celebrity now than a creator in my eyes. That's not me criticizing him like I don't like him, because I do like him. I'm just saying I haven't been able to say, oh, it's this character here, this story here, 1, 2, 3. But I think that's a problem for a lot of creatives, to be quite honest, because we're underground doing our thing, and it's like some people, they don't necessarily connect to our stories the way that we might connect to mainstream stuff. I don't know. But like I said, I like what he does, and I am intrigued to find more. But then at the same time, don't forget I'm focusing on my own thing as well.
It ain't easy, man. Like, especially the things we do, man. We can't be that focused on everything else. We just, whatever cross come our eyes, we see it. But other than that, man, we just be so, tuning in on our own stuff. We don't catch everything. You see what I'm saying? So
I think it's the same. I think it's the same for the other dude as well. I don't want no controversy starting, because I know they had a fallout. The dude called Eric July. Is that his name?
Yo, Ripper?
Yeah.
Ripper.
Yeah. It's like I know more about him than his project, if that makes sense. Because obviously he's a YouTuber. So obviously different people, they've got different ways of marketing their stuff. But it's like, I remember seeing all the criticism he got, but I said to myself, I actually want to just read this book and see what it's like before I actually make any judgments.
I was going to do the same thing, man. And like I said, I don't judge a book until I read it. See if I'm feeling it or not. And I'm seeing mixed reviews about it, but shit, he is what? 3.7 million? Something like that?
I'm not really focused on the money. I mean, I'm glad that he got the money, because this is the other thing as well that I wanted to say regarding what we do. You're going to get a lot of people talking stuff when they make their characters or they set up a business, and they'll say, oh, I need support. Support independent artists. No, I don't like support. I tell you what I like: demand. If people want what you got, that's what you want. Let me tell you something. For anyone that smokes weed, when you buy your weed, you don't buy the weed because you're supporting your weed, man. You're buying that weed because you want to get high. Yeah. Right. When you go Foot Locker to buy them Jordans, you don't buy it because you want to support Jordan or you want to support Foot Locker. You want them fly Jordans. That is what it is. So what I'm saying is, and the problem is as well, when you go down the support route, is you then end up having a thing where people are supporting you, but only until, they're supporting you because they like your personality. But the minute you say something they don't agree with online, all of a sudden, I didn't like your drawings anyway. I didn't like you anyway.
Man, you know what? You already know I'm spiritual for that shit, though, right?
I'm just saying, like, because let me tell you something. People say stuff like, oh, he's cancelled and what have you. If you got a demand for what you do, it is what it is. You can't be cancelled because people still want what they want. How do you know the person that that brought in all the fruits that you're eating right now? He could be racist. You wouldn't even know, because you want your orange, you want your mangoes, you want your whatever it is. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to focus on just making something that people want, and it's nice to get support in the beginning, but you end up finding out what the support is really like when you get to issue 2 of your comic.
Exactly. And that's what if you, that's why I make my when I do certain YouTube videos or what I'm always preaching that. I'm telling people that is that you can't force. It's got to people. If you making some good shit, if it's good shit, nobody they not gonna ignore that, man. They can't ignore it because it's good, high quality shit. Ain't no way they gonna turn down. But when you acting like entitled, like you like crying and shit, that I call it begging, plea from our begging shit. That's not gonna cut it, man. It's not gonna cut it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Build that shit up, motherfuckers gonna come. You know what I'm saying? But people, some retarders don't get it. They don't get that.
I mean, like I said, I see a lot of people because I made sure I came out of all the groups that are talking about artwork and comics and what have you, like the black superhero groups or whatever else it is. I've seen the arguments these people are having, and it's like you get these people that they don't really want black superheroes. They want Marvel and DC black superheroes. That's what they want.
Exactly.
And once you kind of understand that, that's when you find your market truly. Because
yeah, exactly.
Like even down to this Spider-Man film that's come. I haven't watched it yet, so please don't spoil it for me.
I'm not spoiling, man.
yeah. But like I wasn't really a Spider-Man fan. I was more, like I told you, I was more into Batman and what have you. But what I noticed is a lot of people that wasn't even into comics, they're into comics, well, they're into superheroes. So they're not into comics, but they're into superheroes. And even when we was doing events like Comic Cons and what have you, doing comics and what have you, people would come up to us and said, Wayne, you know what? I don't even read comics, but I like what you're doing. So the industry's kind of split in different ways now, where if you've got a personality and a product that people can resonate with, you'll get that support that way. That's more where it's going now. That's what I think is going to happen when it comes to the whole superhero thing. And you're going to have some people that make comics. You're going to have some people that make motion comics online. You're going to have some people that make just animation. You're going to have people that do a combination of all of that. I'm hearing that they're doing podcasts now as well. So you got people like doing short stories online and just reading it out. I'm not really sure how that resonates. I mean, I can't imagine listening to a superhero story in the car as I'm driving on the motorway. But then again, maybe. I don't know. But you're just going to have basically people having superheroes and characters they created, but using different mediums to get it across to people. Some people are going to prefer whichever way they prefer. If some people want to read comics, then go for it. I still think it's good to still print up comics, but it's about the cost. And I don't necessarily think it's cost effective as much these days because people aren't prepared to always part with their money. And it's not even worth, well, over here anyway, it's not worth printing up 100 copies. You may as well print 1,000, but are you going to move 1,000? That's the problem. And
the numbers. There's always them damn numbers, man. The numbers.
Yeah, because I was in Jamaica in February and I went round to different printers because, believe it or not, there's a Comic Con in Jamaica called the Anime Com Fest. It's on Instagram. Go follow him. So they've got a comic convention in July on the 28th and the 29th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. And I've been speaking to him for quite a while, and I'm looking to go there again to go to that just to see what it's like. But I don't know if anyone here has been Jamaica, but I don't necessarily think it's the kind of place where people want to buy comics. Not in Jamaica, like. When you go there, you'll see.
Is that many comics in Jamaica? It's like, what is this? Isn't that what it is? It's not what you thought it would be?
No, it's like Jamaica as a place isn't really a place that I think you can sell comics, as it were, because the way that the country is, they're not really focused on superheroes and buying stuff like that. They'll watch the films, definitely. But in terms of like, actually buying a comic for the money that it is and based on the financial situation of the average person there as well, I just don't think it's going to happen like that. So when I went over there, I tried to inquire how much it would cost to print up comics and what have you. And then it turns out it's actually more expensive for me to print comics in Jamaica than it is for me to do it here. But the problem is if I print it here and then when I go to Jamaica, I'm going to have to pay customs charges when they see how much copies of my comic that I've got, especially if they know that I'm going to go there to sell it. So it's almost like you can't win. So how do you, say you, Agent Solo, you got like a great audience for your comics.
Mhm.
How do your supporters that are in Jamaica get hold of your comic? How? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I see
Yeah.
exactly what you mean.
And this is real. As black creatives, this is something that we have to think about, because this isn't necessarily something that the other guys need to think about, because they're not of these places. They're not trying to resonate with these places. Shout out to, our artist friends in Nigeria, because you got the Lagos Comic Con, Comic Republic and what have you. So
Yes,
you got
shout
their
out
thing
to
there.
my boys out there in Lagoose, man. I'll be out there. Well, I won't be out there. I'll be on the virtual panel screen because people keep thinking I'm going to Africa. I'm not going to Africa, people, all right?
I am.
But I
I
will.
am.
I'm going to be on the virtual screen. Shout out to them, man. He hit me up, and he said he wanted to be a part of it. I was like, man, you want me to know what? I'm like, oh, man, I'm on, man. And he said, man, you do your own power thing, man. And he gave me the platform to do that, man. So I'll be doing that September 23rd on a Saturday. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Lagoose on the scene, bro. That's the man.
But
Them cats over there, they doing it. I got to give my back up to them.
The Nigerians are killing it right now when it comes to animation and what have you. Shout out to Toby Eziogu. He's an artist that's done some work for me as well. So yeah, I converse with some of the Nigerian artists as well. So there's actually a lot of creative people around, like other places other than America and the UK, like in Africa, Caribbean islands and what have you. They're there. You just need to kind of find them. Obviously, I stumbled across these people, and once you kind of interact with these people a lot more, you realize there's just a big world out there, and you can really get a lot of things done in other ways. Because can you imagine, you got your Agent Solo comic selling in Nigeria and Jamaica and wherever else. Like imagine for a minute. So what that means is you can then make connections with the artists over there and be like, you know what, these guys do animation over here. I'm going to get these guys in Nigeria to do my pre-production. And I'm going to also get the guys in Jamaica to do my character designs. But then I'm going to go London to get my storyboards done. I mean, there's no reason you can't do that. And that's what you can do yourself, just interacting with all these people. You with what I'm trying to say? No big production company involved. And also, they're going to be quite thankful because of the exchange rate of money. When you look at how much the Jamaican dollar is versus the American dollar, put it this way, you go Jamaica right now and you come out the airport and you get a cab, they're going to quote you a price in American dollars. They're not charging you Jamaican dollars. They'll say, oh, just give me 60 US. So that tells you how far that your currency can go over there and what work you can get done.
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't be scared.
Your Nick Studios as well. What's going on? I hope I say your name right, man. Abdem Creations. I say your name right, bro?
Oh yeah,
if I butchered your name.
Yeah, big up Andy. That's to you, bro. Yeah, that's one of my guys. He's from London. He's from London.
Salute. So big London up in this joint, boy. Y'all busted. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
from the shot, man.
He rolls with one of the people that used to be in All Nights. Jason. He was in the team back in the day. He's doing his own thing now. But I know Andy does some work with him, so big them up.
Well, shout out. With me, man, when I'm creating this stuff, man, I just be having fun, Wayne. I just, I used to do a 9 to 5. They had fired me. So, but they fired me on time, though, man. If I'm doing a pandemic.
The pandemic, I didn't really, believe it or not, that during the pandemic, I was more working than creating because I already had a lot of work done already. So I was more working, because now with All Nights, the way that we're rebranding, we're going to be doing a podcast as well. So we're going to be talking with a lot more creators, talking about, animation and comics and sound engineering, just that kind of stuff. It's basically going to be talking specifically about the creative process. We're going to be doing that, as well as obviously our animations that we're doing on YouTube, as well as the comics and stuff. So we're going through a complete rebrand, really. So that's where a lot of my time went on, just getting the money to pay for these things. So the amount of money I've spent on equipment for this podcast, and the amount of money that I've spent on equipment for the market stalls that we're going to be going to, because we want to go back to going to events like Comic Con and what have you, but doing market stalls in the week as well. So we're like constantly putting it out there so that once again people start recognizing what All Nights is about and what we've been doing, and just kind of just starting again, you know, because I believe that, you know, if you invest in yourself, that's when other people start lurking and, you know, they want to be involved in what you're doing. I mean, I'm not doing it for that, because I'd carry on doing it anyway, even if I have to keep doing it.
It's about the passion, you know what I'm saying? The passion, man. You know, everything else gonna come along with it. Because I
still need money.
Yeah, we all need the money, man.
Yeah. So just to clarify,
but my connections with Lagoose, man, I got some good stuff coming out of that. I can't wait to announce it. But
so wait, let me ask you this as well. So with your comics now, do you obviously you print physical copies, correct?
Yeah, I do digital. Yeah. That's
so,
it. Like when I do them campaigns, like I get people from UK, I get people from you know, from Africa, and what they do is they just buy the digital and I just send it to them. Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you ever use Amazon before when it had
No, never, man, never used it. I was always thinking about doing it, but I never just got a hand of it. I never got a chance to. Is it good? Is something that's good I should be checking out, or?
No. I was just asking if you did it, because this is what happened when we used Comixology on there. So once upon a time when we was using it, we would put our comic on there and you would get paid for every download. But then they changed it and said, right, we're not paying you based on every download, because now people, they just get access to the comic. So they're not buying it and then having their own copy. They're paying for access to it. And then that's when it just destroyed the incentive of going on there. So issue 1 of Hardwired, the comic that I did, that was on there. But once they did that, I thought there's no point then. It's a bit like Netflix. You can have a show on Netflix right now and it can say that it's trending, it's #1, but I don't know if anyone really likes it, because it's not like
I was like cooking the books.
That's what I'm saying. So
book cooking.
And it's like that it's like that video on Instagram that Snoop Dogg came up. He's like, so how does this money work? Like, how comes I'm getting if I'm getting 1 billion streams and I'm not getting this and
Yeah.
Like, and that's
they
why
can't show you no record sheets and shit. Like, come on, what y'all running here, bro?
So that's why.
I never wanted to get into. I'm very skeptical when I'm putting my books on platforms, because I gotta ask questions, man. I gotta know how y'all know how many numbers I'm making. Can you show me some numbers? If they can't do none of that shit I asked for, then I ain't gonna rock with it. I'm just gonna keep doing what I do, because at least when I'm doing this crowdfunding, I can see the numbers. I can see the numbers when I'm doing Instagram. I mean, when I'm doing Indiegogo.
Well, that's why it makes more sense for you to have your own app at that point. But then at the same time, I've spoken to a couple people about making apps, but it hasn't really worked out, because some of the people, they've not necessarily been forthcoming about the process and what they're, you know, and it's a lot of money. The money that they want is quite pricey, but I was prepared to pay for it. But it would, I could tell it would just end up being frustrating, and you end up spending a lot of money and you don't get nothing for it, or very little. So I think the future is going to be that independent creators are going to need to develop their own app somehow and just set up your own payment system where your customers can come.
There's a friend of mine, Thomas Ryan. He created his own it's an indie app that indie creators can put their books on and sell them on. He did the shit, man, and I was supposed to get with him about that. But he doing his thing. He getting, it's growing, because he's getting each indie artist, they putting their books on a platform. It's like a online web platform like Comicology. He just did this shit. His name Thomas Ryan. Shout out to Thomas Ryan, because I know he might see this. Shout out to you, bro. He doing his thing, you know. So he created something like that.
Sounds like he's going to be the James St. Patrick of the comics industry then.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope to see him, because I mean, he's onto something there. When I'm like, man, you doing what? He's like, I want you to be a part of it. I was like, man, check that out. You know, so I just never got around to it, because I be so busy, man. You know, sometimes you say you're gonna do some shit, you'll forget it because you're working on some other shit. You know, and you know, it be like that. But you know, yeah, there's that. You telling the truth though, because you need other platforms to get the books out there. You know, you gotta have different revenues. You know, like with me, I got my book set up in the barbershops. You know what I'm saying? Like made a deal with one of my barbershop dealers. You know, made a deal with him. He brought some books for me and set them up. You know, I get my cut, he get his. You know what I'm saying? So
this is how I know
you
you're
gotta
from
be
the hood.
creative out here. You know what I'm saying with your shit. You know,
I can tell you're from the hood. You're definitely from the hood. You definitely been listening to that MJG and 8 Ball music to come up with something like that. That's what you've been
man, I
doing.
would sell combos on my damn truck, man.
I've got questions about you.
You ain't one? Hey, police pull me over. I got an old school Chevy. Police pull me over. You know they profiling me. So when they open up my truck, and when there was fucking comic books and some damn fruit, and they said, "Why we got them books here?" I said, "I make comic books." And he's like, "You make comic? Yeah, I sell comic books on my truck."
I've got a funny. Listen, I got a funny story. There was a time when we first did Comic Con, we never sold our own comics. We were selling other people's. So we bought Lucius Hammer, we bought Harlem Shadow, we bought it in bulk. We bought Tech Watch from Raddy. I bought Cronus from Scott Beach. I don't know if you know who Scott Beach is. I know he's friends with I know he's friends with Stanley Weaver and what have you. But basically, I bought a load of independent comics from all of you guys. I bought loads of them. And then we went to the Comic Con and we sold it. So I would buy it from them in bulk. So some of them I bought like 50 copies, some of them 20, some of them 100. Like we spent a lot of money buying other people's comics. And then we would then go to Comic Con and sell them independently. So that's what we were doing. So that shows the support that shows what I really believed in.
Yeah, that's major. Man, that's major.
That's what I was doing then. And you know, I'm not afraid to admit it. I got the idea from watching a lot of drug dealer movies. I just thought, okay, I'll buy it for this.
Hey.
But that's
I told you the blood movies work. People don't believe me.
but wait, hold on. That's not even the funny bit, because this is what happened. There was a UK artist. I'm not going to say his name because, unbeknownst to some of you, he actually works in law enforcement here. Anyway, me and Darius, who was in the team at the time, we met the guy. I spoke to him on the phone and said, yeah, we want to get this much copies of your comic. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to reveal what have you. We met the guy in Brixton. Yeah, we met the guy in Brixton. And, you know, he was parked up and he opened the boot of his car, had these comics, and we took the comics from his car, put it into the back of my car. I'm not joking. It was like a scene out of Top Boy. It's exactly what happened. It's like we was doing a drug deal. Anyway, me and him spoke, the actual artist in question. He actually does work for law enforcement. He works for the police, believe it or not. But he knew what I was doing. I was buying the comics from him, then selling it at Comic Con and all the rest of it. And he said, oh yeah, it's good that you're, you know, putting out the black superhero thing and what have you. And then, yeah, so it's just ironic that we did something like that in such a manner like that, but he was a police officer himself. So yeah. That actually did happen, but like I said, out of respect, I can't say who he is because of the line of work that he's in.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But he's a cool brother.
When they find out we creators, man, they were like, I ain't never seen no brother riding around the car with some comic books in the back. You're like, yeah, man.
I want to do it. I want to do it again, though. I want to be able to like find all the people printing up their work and be like, look, how much if I want 100 copies of this? How much would you sell me 100 copies for? Because I want to get 100 copies and I want to sell them myself. So say, I mean, let's go with a normal figure. Let's just say we sell them for £5 each. I'll buy them from you for £3 each. I'll buy 100 of them. You know what I mean? So that's what, 300 quid. I'll buy it off you, give you 300 quid, give me 100 copies, and then I'll sell it for £5. At least I make my profit back, that kind of thing, you know? So that's basically the kind of business I was on. But again, who's really prepared to spend that kind of money?
It's all about how they want it, bro.
Yeah.
It's all about the see. You gotta have that abundant mindset, bro. You know what I'm saying? Some, you know me. I'm all for game. Oh shit, yo man, I give you 3 right now, bro. Let's do this. But you know, you got some they can't pull it like that. They just can't pull the
Yeah,
trigger because they
but
don't
let me
have.
tell you. Let me tell you. When we did that, and we went to the comic convention that we did at the Excel Centre here in London. When we was there, like all of us, all nights, we're all black. We're all black. All of us creatives. We're wearing the all nights t-shirt and the all nights attire. See, I've got the all nights hat here. Anyway, we was all wearing.
That's tight, bro.
We was all wearing the all nights clothing and all selling the comics. When I say that our display at the comic convention looked fly, because all of the comics were just stuff they never heard of, all black superheroes. People just kept coming and said, what's this and what's this and what's this? They never seen it before. I'm telling you, when you've got all the black creatives comic stuff in one place, on one booth, in a comic convention in London, we was out selling people and we was getting funny looks. Like a lot of people felt away because
you was on your game, man. On your game. See, when you on your plan, you have a plan, like a real plan. That shit gonna work because it's different. Ain't nobody doing that shit.
The melanin was overpowering. I'm telling you, like it was just.
I bet it was.
It was a sight to be seen. So yeah, that's what we was doing, and then that showed me that it can work. It can work, but it's just a case of if people is prepared to give the upfront money and just actually buy the comics in bulk and then sell them on, if they're prepared to do that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. You know, like I said, that's why I'm doing this. You know, you gotta be brainstorming how you gonna up your ante because everybody, you already know everybody not gonna be doing the prints. Everybody gonna have Venom, but when you come and show up with some different shit that they ain't never seen before, and on top of that, you rocking your shit. Like I be rocking my Diverse come, I have my Agent Solo shirt on, man. I be promoted out, man. I'm a walking billboard.
Yeah.
So when I go on the shows, all my conventions, I had never had a bad one yet. But because I'm always what I'm doing now, I'm in marketing mode. You know, so my whole mind is in just straight up marketing mode. What can I do to stand out from the crowd? You know what I'm saying? So I come in there like a billboard, man. Me and my brother. We coming in like billboards with all that shit on our characters and stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? And we have, you know, we have the candy out and shit, man. We just be doing our thing, man. That's why I said you gotta be real creative how you conduct yourself. You know, that's why I'm trying to inspire other creators how to do it, because if you don't come up with no type of strategy, you're gonna be sad. You know what I'm saying?
So
you gotta put in that work.
I've got a question for you and some of the people that's in the chat or what have you. I haven't even been checking the chat. I don't even know if I can see it. But
you don't see the chat? I see the chat.
No, I'll just stick to you could go through it because I think you're using your laptop or what have you. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm using my phone because man, I don't know what my laptop acting funny on me today. But we're gonna go to these we're gonna go to these comments. Tough Nut Toys. He said he loved the show. Thanks, brother. So Vanguard, he loving it, he laughing about it. He's saying the inside man. Rain told you to animate the stories we telling. You know what I'm saying? So chat looking good, everybody just enjoying. I'm glad y'all enjoying this, man, because this is first time ever doing this. We just vibing and talking up shop and stuff. So I'm glad you guys are sticking around. You know what I'm saying? Because we just on some mellow shit. You say you had a question for me? Yeah,
like now, obviously, different people, you've got different methods for doing comics. Some people are using Clip Studio, I think it is. Some people are using Photoshop, what have you. Me personally, I hand draw everything, but I scan it afterwards. I line it up in Illustrator, and then I do my colors in Photoshop, and then that's about it. I know Felicia uses Clip Studio. I actually got her onto that. Because I use it as well sometimes. But I wanted to know from different people what their process was, and also what's your feelings towards the way that these companies have changed all the software that we use. Now you got to pay monthly for it. Like, what's your feelings towards that?
Well, me, you know, you already know I'm paper. I'm all handcraft guy. I just draw on paper, man. Pencil on paper, baby, all day, all life. But
what about your color work though?
You say what now?
What about your color work? Like when you color it, how do you And obviously,
well, you know what? I sent my stuff to, I scan it. I got a workforce. I got a 11x17 workforce. So I will scan
okay,
my stuff in on the USB, and I send it, and I load it up to the colorist, and he get their color from, and they send it back to me.
okay, yeah. That's
Yeah,
what
that's
that's
how I
what
do
I
my.
do. That's what I do
Yeah,
as well for the comics that we publish, because even though I can
yeah,
do everything myself, I do hire artists. So one of the artists
yeah.
that I do hire, his name's called Dodi Eka. He's in Indonesia. Um, he's like he first started working on Hardwired issue 3. Before that, I had Sean Aline. Let me not pronounce his name wrong. I also had Marcus Williams do some work with me, or for me, however you want to say it, and the legendary Anthony Piper, Black Ant. I'm surprised you haven't mentioned him
What's
much.
going on,
But
Ed? Black Ant? Yeah,
yeah,
truly, yeah,
he,
Chicago
he,
bound, baby.
he did the pages for Hardwired. He did all the pages for Hardwired issue 1.
He
So,
did?
yeah. So what I'm just wondering what different people's feelings are with the way that software is going in terms of the way they're trying
Yeah,
to get
man.
money
That
out of it.
software, I knew when I was looking at that, how, especially how Photoshop. Man, that's how robbery, bro. I mean, they got you paying for different tiers of what you like to work in. I mean, it just, Clip Studio, because my brother, he's into the manga. He does the manga. He does like the manga line, but he used Clip Studio for his
Mm.
how he make his manga books. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He'll draw them, but then he takes stuff in, he do all the extra shit, that gray tone and screen, all that manga stuff.
yeah.
He do it
I
all
do
in
that.
Clip Studio. He told me, coming from him, he said it's more better working in Clip Studio than it is Photoshop. So,
Yeah,
you
but Clip
know,
Studio's doing the same thing too. They're doing the same. They're changing
yeah.
to the whole monthly package thing as well. I mean, I've still got the CD. It's up there, but like, because I like owning my stuff. But
I wish it was just some way that it could be I wish it was a way that it could be some type of service that we can artists can use without getting gat like that, man. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like pay to create.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, goddamn. I mean, like, man, it's like artists can't get a break, bro. It's like, we gotta pay for every goddamn thing. It's like you just can't get a break,
yeah. So
But he said Clip Studio is better than the Photoshop, so doing manga art because he does the manga shit. So
I use both. So I mean, that's what it is. But I'm just used to using Photoshop. But I've got both anyway.
yeah,
I use a PC, but I've got Mac computers as well. And
the
it's
chat.
like I said, it's just
Going
the
from the
way.
chat from your boy, Madam Creations. He said he's having problems with his Photoshop, so he's using GIMP. He says he's not a fan of the pay monthly service. Hey man, I agree on you with that. So Vanguard, he sounds like they going all Patreon with it. Hey
Yeah,
man, he's like everything going Patreon now. Has service going. I won't be surprised if Facebook try to charge people.
I believe that's coming, and this is the other thing as well that I think creators need to be aware of. As more success comes towards
Yeah,
independent artists, you're going to start seeing these companies feeling a bit of a way that you're making money without them. So they're going to find ways of getting money out
they're
of
gonna
you
yeah.
somehow. You know
Well,
what I mean?
shit, they already started Facebook with the pay for ad because when you post something now, a lot of people not gonna see that shit now. If you pay for the ad service, then people see it. So they really pretty much got you paying for shit on there already. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So how they get like with the whole cash app. You
yeah.
see how they try to get they monitor that now because people's getting money to that motherfucker. Now they trying to find a way to they document that shit like how much you getting. Oh, you getting $500. You got that's tax. You got see in the United States, man. It's corruption all of this motherfucker, man.
It's very it's almost like the mafia business model. They just want a cut of whatever you do, and that's just how it is, unfortunately. But
Yeah,
like I said, I was just more talking about how it's affecting artists and like how they feel about it, because luckily the versions of Photoshop I've got like an old version on that computer over there, But then on this laptop, I've got a
Yeah, I still
recent
got
one.
the CS. I still got the C2. What's the name of that Photoshop C2? Is the C2
I know
version?
C2. I don't even know what version that is. I know there's CS3, and that's old as dirt. But wow, I don't know
Yeah,
how
it's the
you even.
Photoshop C. Somebody help me out in the chat. What's the name of Photoshop? Because I can't go on right now to check. But I
But
got
the
the
thing
old
is,
version of it. I got the old version of that. That's the only way. That's the freeze I'm gonna get.
but the
But they
problem
do
is,
want it because I only just use it for certain shit I need to do it with.
but the problem is that if you use an old version of software on a newer operating system like Windows 10, it won't work basically. So that's another thing you got to contend with. You can use old software, but then it also depends on, like I said, the operating
Yeah.
system as well, because the operating system be sending information back and forth to know, oh, this software is validated or not authenticated. Even it's happening in the music as well, because Logic's doing it now. All the software, because I listen to some of the music producers and the videos that they make, like EA Ski. He's one that I listen to a lot. He's been having issues, or he's got certain choice words about the people that make the MPC sampler, and it's like he's criticizing them for the fact that you've made the MPC sample machine again, but it doesn't sound as good as previous machines, but you've given us nice bells and whistles of a digital display and all of that, but it's not an actual better machine. So he's criticized Akai for that. But as a result, one of the guys that works at Akai, or one of the ambassadors, or what, I don't know, he's blocked him on Instagram because of that. So I don't know, man. I just kind of feel the way the tech companies are now treating the creative industry,
it's hard.
It's almost like it's predatory now.
Yeah,
because
it's like
without
shit.
without
Yeah,
create without
that's what it was. The C2, the CS2. I got that.
CS2.
Yep. I got it
I
on
don't know how
my
you get that
laptop,
to
man.
work,
It
man.
worked like a charm, bro. I ain't got no problems, man. But like I said, I only do it when I'm doing reference colors for my characters and shit. That's all I do it for. I don't use it for pretty much nothing. I'm not a colorist and that, so I just use it like for reference colors and all that. And that's it.
And if it still works, then hey, go for it, man. But
It worked like a charm, man.
CS2,
I ain't giving them no more money, man. Fuck that.
Photoshop CS2. I just want you to know that the last version that they had was CS6, and then it moved to CC, I believe. Yeah, CS6, and now it's CC.
Yeah,
so
I
the one
won't
that
even
everyone's
know
using
that
now.
shit.
So the one that
I
everyone's
just
using now
using
is
that one.
CC, but you're using CS2. Wow.
Yeah, because they gave the keys out. It got out online, leaked out online. They didn't leak out. They just gave it out. It was like the key, the number, the keys, and all that. It was free at the time. Shit, and I still got it. I had it all up to this year, man. It gave me no problems at all. I still got it. It still works on my laptop.
Okay.
And I just be using it for the color reference of my characters, whatnot. But that's about it. I use it for.
Okay. So what's can't think of anything else to ask besides, with Agent Solo, if you was to do a crossover story with an independent creative, and I'm talking to people that we know, who would it be?
Man, I would love to do one with Stanley Weaver.
Which one of his characters? Like what?
Stalker.
Okay. And
he did a pinup of that too, man. And I still gotta get the color. He did a surprising pinup of that, and oh man, I was mind blown. I was like, oh shit.
Now, I've got Stanley Weaver's done some work for me as well. So
yeah,
Stanley's a goat. Like he's always been one of my favorites, because I call him, the way that he draws, I call it platinum pencils. I can't describe it.
I call him a Renaissance man, because Stanley, this man dressed in suits, bro. He had all these type of different suits. Got the cologne on, shaving, man. I'm like, man, you're a businessman and an artist. And I tell you, he stays in suits because he always come up here to Chicago for the conventions. And because him and Joe McPhee, they cool. I'm cool. Everybody know each other. So he always come up here doing for the conventions.
Yeah,
and Stanley, man, he's just a good ass dude, man. And his artwork is just phenomenal, man. His art
Guys, he's
style.
too sharp. He's too sharp, and also,
Yeah.
I'm a bit jealous of him because his beard's connected, mine's not. So yeah, I'm jealous of him because of that. But yeah, he's always been good with his work. I've always liked his style. He's done some stuff for me, and it's like the way that he makes your work look when he does his version of it. Like when you give him like source material to kind of use as a reference, like his
Yeah.
translation of your work, you could have a whack character and he will just make that shit look dope. He will
Yeah,
make
he
it look
make it
10
look
times
dope
better.
as hell. Yeah, he
Yeah,
do. His pencil line is like he got like this it's like a sketchy dark, it's like dark places how he draws. I be studying his
yeah.
lines. I be like, yeah, man, how you do that, dude?
Oh,
And
wait,
I like
wait.
how he make his black character give him them black lips with the nose and shit. I mean, like,
Yeah,
it'd be crazy how the
I've,
things he
I've learned
do.
I've learned from him, but let's not forget the rest of his team as well. You got Joe Robinson as well. Then you got
Yeah, Joe
Sean
Robinson
Allen.
Curry. Shout out to my boy Joe Robinson Curry, man. Joe, I knew Joe when I was getting in the game. I think I was like 14,
Yeah,
and I've been knowing him. You know what I'm saying? And I met
and
all these guys when I was young, man. Like I was real young when I got in because I was getting mentored. You know, at the time when I was
okay.
got in, but I seen these guys, man, and they
And
was
then
always producing good work. When I was young, they was producing good work. See
and
what I'm
then
saying?
then
So
on top of that though, there's Sean Allen, and then there's also James
Sean
Mason as
Alley,
well.
Sean Alley
Yeah,
with the what's the name of his damn character?
Black
It's a guy
Icon.
with two guns with the mask. I can't think of the
Yeah,
name right now.
Black Zion.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Zion. Yeah,
Yeah,
Sean
yeah,
Alley. I got
yeah.
some
And
of
then
his
there's
books. I got the Street Team book. These guys. This is why I
there's
always try to like
James
buy
Mason, man.
as much black comics as I can because it's good quality books.
Yeah, and then there's James Mason as well. So those are the four that I remember from that circle. Um, so I'm thinking who else to big up now as well. Obviously, Mashindu
I
Kumba.
don't know if you know Ashley Woods. Ashley A. Woods. She's a black artist here from Chicago. She
Yeah,
did.
I follow her. I know you're talking
Yeah,
about.
she
I follow.
she she does some great work too. Shout out to her. Um, shout out to Tell Only, you know, the black brother. He made the Black Age of Comics
Okay, yeah,
movement.
yeah.
Yeah, he made the
Okay.
Black
Oh
Age of
yeah, big
Comics
up,
movement. And like I said,
big
I
up.
went to all school when I was young, man. I was getting to school and stuff, so I met all these guys when I was very young.
Mm.
Uh, there's so many of them. I'm trying to. I hate to leave our names, but I met a lot of these guys. You know what I'm saying? When I'm at these conventions, man. So there's just so many great books out. I just wish everyone could see them. You know?
So now you put the idea in my head now. So Stalker and Agent Solo. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I've literally just written that down. So I've got that in my mind now. So
I'm telling you, man.
I'll leave it at,
I'm a
I'll
bug
leave it
Stanley
at
too
that.
about that, man, because it gotta happen.
I'll leave it at that. You told me that. I'll just be like, okay. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Every time I do one of these videos when I'm talking to another artist, I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask them like, who do they want the main character to have a crossover with? Because
Matter of fact, yeah, they did. They had a So Vanguard just remind me they did. I got that video game too. I never played it in a long time though. That they had a video game out. It was like a Sprite video game, like a video game, bro.
yeah, I
Oh
remember.
my Street Team video game.
Yeah, I remember.
They had a video game of that.
It's like a side scrolling beat 'em up. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was like Streets of Rage style. Yep, it was Streets of Rage. I remember that.
Yeah.
Because Joe
Okay.
Curry, he's a Streets of Rage fan, so he played them video games.
Yeah, and I've done a crossover. I've had some crossover artwork with Chris Miller because I know
Really?
he did he did an artwork piece of one of my characters called Baccarus, and his character called PA. Because he's got a book with another writer called Chronicles of Pierre, and basically he did like a crossover piece where the both of them are like standing side by side with their swords kind of thing. So I always said to myself, I want those two characters to have some kind of crossover story where they meet each other or something, and they've got they go on a quest together, that kind of thing. So I've always had that in mind, and also my character Nathaniel Nuke. It would be good to see him with Agent Solo, But I also think another character as well, but I'm not sure just yet. It would be like a trio. So it would be like Nathaniel Nuke, Agent Solo, and one more. Oh, and I forgot to mention as well, another artist I didn't mention, Lloyd Cheatham from Detroit. He went a bit quiet, but he's still about because I know he's busy working and stuff. But he's also a dope
I
artist.
don't think I got him as a Facebook friend. I gotta check to see that I have him as
No, you
a
do.
Facebook friend. But I'm
You
trying.
do. Lloyd Cheatham, that is, me and him haven't spoken for a while. Me and him are definitely going to have to do a video like this. But he is definitely like, he's probably one of, I'd say he's probably one of the best artists I know when it comes to like this whole circle in terms of like, because he's done a lot of commissions for me, but we've done a lot of work together as well. So it's like, you know, he'll draw my characters, I'll draw some of his, or he'll draw something, I'll color it. But like me and him was almost like Red Man and Method Man kind of thing without the weed. So
How creators.
Yeah, but me and him haven't spoken for a while. But Lloyd, if you're listening, we're gonna link up soon. So yeah,
sure, thanks, bro.
Yeah, man. So I'm thinking, who else now? That's all I can think of at the moment. Raddy Lewis, I speak to him every so often. Him and his wife or whatever. Like, you know, we always interact. And yeah, I'd love to work with Raddy at some stage as well. But again, it's just timing. It's just timing, really.
Yeah, it's like there's not enough time. What we all do, man. It's like you try as much to interact with other creators, see what they got going on, or you know what I'm saying, might connect and do a collab. You know, so I'm always down to do collabs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I just think that'd be good to show more showcase of that it's real creators out here, man. We just not making fairy tales and shit and not doing anything with them. We were actually pushing these books.
Yeah, definitely. So, anything else you want to say? I'm trying to, because I can't think of anything else. I've bigged up everyone.
Oh, man, I got plenty, man. Well, I got one round with you. Man, what,
okay,
are you a gamer, man?
I am. I used to be. I don't really have the time as much now. It's like I'll play a game for like maybe 10 minutes, and then afterwards I'll see something and I'll start drawing again.
Yeah, I feel you. You said, well, Vanguard reminded us, yeah, we had Jonathan Price. Jonathan Price and Jet Dancer.
Jonathan, he's another one. That's my dog. He worked on Hardwired issue 1 as well. He's done loads of work for me and Felicia and like the rest of the team. Like his color style. He's watching now, right?
Yep. No, Vanguard, he brought him up.
Yeah, you see, Jonathan. Let me tell you about Jonathan Price. Yeah, Jonathan Price is easily one of the best colorists I know, because he's got a unique style that he colors that's suitable for animation and games, and even down to when I watch Castlevania on Netflix, I saw the color style and I'm like, Jonathan, this is you. But sometimes when Jonathan posts stuff, I can tell that he's got some doubt about what he does. But I'm like, Jonathan, you are up there. Like, there's no doubt about it. You are definitely like single-handedly, your art style and your color style is just as good, if not better, than what you see on the Castlevania Netflix series out right now. And I'm not saying that just because I'm trying to sound positive and all the rest of it. I'm not even capping. It is what it is. I said the same thing to Anthony Piper when he was kind of like feeling down and stuff. I'm like, bro, your work's dope. I wouldn't have spent all the money hiring you if you weren't good. Howard Russell, that's another one. I call him John B because he does look like John B. But yeah, Howard Russell, yeah, I don't know why no one hasn't caught on to that. Anytime I see a John B interview, I just tag him. I say, yeah, there's you on Vlad TV, bro, because he looks like John B. But no, Howard Russell's really good as well. Like, there's just so many dope artists that we've got. Another one as well, he's went missing, is Wes McTizik. I think I pronounced his name correctly. Yeah, he done a lot of work for us in the past, like a lot of concept art, and I've colored some of his work. But lately, he's just not on social media at all. Like, haven't seen him, don't know where he's at. I know him and Drew, you know Drew, right? You know Drew
yeah,
Augustin.
Yeah,
like I I know they had a group called UGF, Underground Freshmen, and what have you.
They did, but I think what happened with Anthony Pepper, when he got when he did the whole Marvel thing.
Yeah,
I think it kind of like, because when you do, you got a Marvel, he's real busy. He did the way he did a Ghost Rider. He did some other shit, you know what I'm saying? Some X-Men books. He was all over the place. So last time I've seen Anthony, he pops up on Instagram here and there.
Yeah.
Because he a gamer. So he been posting he'll post little stuff he working on. Then he'll disappear again. Then he'll come back. He stays busy.
He's a gamer, but the word on the street is that he's getting his ass kicked on Tekken by one of our friends called Yelena. I keep never pronouncing
Street Fighter now, bro. I think he getting. I don't know. He might be getting in with that Street Fighter now, bro. The new Street Fighter is dropped, bro.
My dude called Yelemna. I don't know if I pronounce your name right, bro, but word on the street is like, Yelemna just been whooping.
I don't want no beef. I'm not saying that. I'm not finna sit up here and say that about Anthony Pepper. Get his ass whipped. I got nothing to say. That comes from you.
That's the word on the street. The word on the street is that
Yelemna. I want that man pulling up from my crib.
The word on the street is that Yelemna is whooping Anthony Piper's ass on Tekken. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know. I weren't there. I don't play it. That's what I heard. Anthony, you're gonna have to do something. I don't know. Show some footage of you fight. I don't know. That's what I heard. But yeah, big up to those guys. Once again, I keep mentioning his name, Mashindu Kumba, because I know he's quiet on socials, but I really don't think this guy gets his flowers enough, because he's probably got an art style that is I see people even over here sometimes selling his artwork as prints. I don't know where they get it. They probably get it online. And it's like, so many people, his artwork, but you don't know his name, kind of thing. So, it's just one of those things.
That he also doing that too, man. People buy prints and they don't know the artist name.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? But, it is what it is. But yeah, big up Mashindu as well. Big up Andre Batts.
Andre Batts, dreadlocks in the house. Shout out to Mr. Batts. I met when I was a little kid, man. I was a teenager. Like I said, I was a teenager when I was doing all this shit. And these guys, man, he got so many books out. Ain't no way I'd be a catch up with him, man. He got a lot of books. I mean, so many different lines of variety of different books, man. It's crazy.
He's like Master P.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah, man. I mean, I know all these guys, man. Like I said, as a kid, I would watch these guys, and they sell them books. They be selling them books at the conventions, man. I used to watch them all the time, Okay. And I was like, I want to be like that, so I'm here.
Big up China McCoy as well, because I know he's got that project that he had called Bane, like the vampire. And big up Jay Reed as well.
My boy Jay Reed, the animator. Yeah. Jay Reed's work is crazy. Jay Reed, the shit he do, man, I'll be telling him, man, like, man, your shit is just phenomenon, man. Oh yeah, shout out to Chris House. I can't forget my boy Chris House.
That's Chris Miller. That's Chris Miller.
Chris Miller. I gotta shout him out, man, because, man, this dude he tagged me, he did one of my characters, he did the Age of Solo villain, he did a Strikeout, and man, that shit was crazy, like a damn video game cover. Color and everything. I was like, man, what?
I think what I'm trying to do now, as well as get my own projects off the ground again, I think I need to kind of dedicate maybe a day or a half a day just to draw in other people's characters, just to kind of keep me warm you up like a car, man. Just start your engine back up. That's what I be doing, man. When I'm not before I even touch a page, man, I be drawing like random. Let me see, can I show you something? I be drawing random shit like this. Let me see, I be drawing like anything to Kibi Yakapak. That's Cable. Okay, yeah, I think I saw that on your timeline. I saw that.
Yeah, you just grit some paper, man, and start drawing that shit, man. And you know what I'm saying? Once you warm yourself up, then you be ready to work on your shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I start my day off all the time, drawing
Big up,
some.
big up Harvey Khan as well. I know he does a lot of good artwork. He's done some stuff for Felicia as well. Big up Kane and White. I know him and Felicia work together a lot. And who else is there? There's too many names to mention. Like
who was it? Damn.
Oh yeah, big up Darius Foster. That's one of my Facebook friends. He does some sketches sometimes of my characters and what have you.
It's so many of us. I try to know everybody. I haven't met them yet. I'm quite sure I come across them.
Oh yeah, so you were showing me some drawings that you did, but here's some of the comic book covers that I brought out that I did, but they haven't come out at all. Like there was Hardwired issue 4, that was a cover for it. My friend Lloyd Cheatham, the one from Detroit.
Oh man, that's crazy.
He drew it, but it was Tommy Shelton that did the color. And then there's this one. Yeah. Anthony Piper, he drew that as well. And then Harvey
That's
Khan.
A classic one right there, man.
Harvey Khan did the color for that. And then this one, Sean Aline, from the one that did Black Hazan, he drew that. But who did the color for that? I think that was Tommy Shelton again, wasn't it? No, it was Yelenia. That was it. I think she did. I can't remember. But yeah, got quite a few. And then there was this one, my friend Wes, he drew that. And then the color.
I know that cover. I've seen that what you posted before.
Yeah. I know, I just posted a cover, but it hasn't been brought out. And then this one, Jay Reed did this.
Oh, that was slick. Jay Reed always doing that slick covers, man, with the 3D style he got, man. It's just crazy. Then, this shit go crazy.
That same character I showed you before, this one. Remember that? Lamia in the middle. This is her when she was a little girl, so you can tell how much I've written about this character. So I've written her story from she's a young girl to when she's a adult.
You pretty much build a nice little storyline. Build up a storyline.
I've been working on her for over a decade. So when that does come, just understand that that's probably one of my most, out of all the black female characters I've got, that's probably one that I've spent the most time on because I've done so much on her. And I did that other character as well. That's another color. Felicia did the color in this, and I think it was David Pizzoni that drew it. That's one of the characters from Hardwired. She's got her own comic as well. Oh yeah, here's the one that Stanley Weaver did.
Yep, that's Stanley's style. The slick style it is. So his style bring a lot of energy and shit too.
Yeah, man. So there's a lot of work that I started but didn't complete, or there's work that it's been developed and drawn and everything, but I just haven't brought it out as yet because we took a complete standstill.
I guess I got Guytron. I was supposed to launch him in June, but I might do it in July. Then I got to work on Violent Bird issue 2. Then I got this Agent Solo the statue coming out, getting made. So
speaking of Guytron,
you try to do a lot of stuff, man. But what can you do? He's only one person. So and I don't like to burn myself out. So if I feel like I'm burning myself out, I would not draw. I go to the gym, some shit. Just burn some steam off. But what I'm saying, it just you know how you want to get so much work done, but there's only one you. You know what I mean? So
your character called Guytron. I remember liking him because he's got a simplistic way of. It's very easy to draw his face. I like that character.
I created him when I was in grade school because, like I said, I liked the Spectre Man and Ultraman. I watched the shit all the day time when I was a kid. So I was like, man, I want my own Spectre Man and Ultraman. So that's where that came from, Guytron. And he fight monsters and shit. It's just some, it's everything. When I create stuff, like I said, it's coming from childhood. This childhood stuff I was growing up on and making my own version of it.
Oh yeah. What about Chester as well? Chester Colston, I think it is.
I can't get my way, Chester.
He came on
I
Facebook for a
want to
little
hear his
while.
mouth, but man, if I don't mention him, oh shit. Amen. His
That guy
character called
grinding.
Amen.
Yeah. Like, I would have never thought of even a character, like a comic idea called Amen, but it works. And it's like
Yeah.
when he told me some of the stories that he's got or that he's planning with his cat, like, it's, some people might be fooled to think it's like some biblical church story. That
No, it's not
the
like
stuff,
that.
the stuff he told me about this, I'm like, yo, this is kind
He
of,
got set up like the green. He got set up like the Green Lantern crops, but they
yeah,
like these characters. I got a couple of. I got a few of his books I had brought. They like the
I
Green
just
Lantern crops.
I just know that there's a character, like there's a priest, but he's strapped.
Yeah,
Like,
he's strapped with the with the. You got the whole priest robe thing going on with the guns. Yeah,
yeah,
he be wilding with them books, man.
yeah, he's doing his thing in the independent authority. So yeah, big up
He's
Chester
the
as
person
well.
that gave me love, man, when I was starting out, man. He gave me an interview in a newspaper in Alabama, man. That's where I first started getting, I was really started to get out there, and he showed me love. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chester, man. He's the first one that did that for me.
I hope everyone that's watching this is subscribing to me on YouTube as well, you know. Like Wayne Riley Art on YouTube. Just find me, you know, follow me as well.
Yeah, subscribe, you guys, if you get a chance, subscribe to us, bro. I'm quite sure some of you people are subscribed to us. But if you haven't, you know, click on that bell and that link, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to grow these channels, man, and we put out good content, you know what I'm saying? There's no cookie cutting over here.
I'm gonna have to bounce soon, but also I wanted to say, with the animation that I'm working on, with the comedy show that I'm working on, it's something that I want to be bringing out weekly. So you're going to be seeing like short little episodes. You're going to be seeing like short clips that's 30 seconds long as well, that I'm going to be putting on social. So certain current events and what have you, you know, they're going to be talking about that. So say, for example, there's a viral video going around, you're going to see an animated version of the characters in the barbershop reacting to that viral clip. So there's going to be stuff like that coming. So brace yourself for that. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to bringing that out anyway, because I get to talk about anything I like.
To the animation, man. You already know I'm gonna be lurking your page for the animation. But what I got going on, I got
the conversation that my guys are having in the barbershop about Derek Jackson. Oh my God, you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss that.
Hey,
that's happening. That's happening.
Yo, man. That dude, man, I told everyone, man, he a villain, man. That dude is the ultimate villain. Like, what making him more interesting now, his wife done came out, and now she done put him on blast about her things she's trying to do, so it make him more interesting. So that's a whole comedy show, bro.
I've got an animated version of Derek Jackson already. That's already there. That's coming. Like, just know. Anyway, let me not say any more, because I don't want to be one of these people that says it's coming.
Axel L. Oh damn, we forgot about thanks Soul Vanguard. Axel L, man. Shout out to him. That dude, he do so much shit, man. And they be trying to rip that brother off so much. I be seeing that brother work on so much stuff. People be trying to get Jack his shit, man, but he holds it down, man. But down, they be copping his shit, man. I'm like, man, y'all taking this man's shit, but you ain't giving him no props for it.
Wait, who's that you're referring to?
Axel L. Alex L.
Okay.
Alex L. He do like them. He do all them political. Righteous. Like he tell them about black stories, how the black community is. And man, he should be on point, man. And they be robbing this man of his work. I'm like, that's Alex L shit, man. And, you know, that's show some love. You see that out his name, man. Y'all just take man shit.
Yeah, Alex L. Yeah. Like, in fact, to be honest, Alex is one of the people that inspired me to do more comedy stuff as well, because a lot of his cartoons was getting around, and again, they weren't giving him. I don't feel they was giving him the props. I know that he's been working on his animated projects with the Malcolm X and the Martin Luther King thing, but even then, because he was doing a lot of social commentary, and then what he would do, he would post up one of his pieces of artwork, and in the comment section it would just go off because everyone's interpreting the artwork a certain type of way. But Alex is definitely underrated. But what I would say, Alex, if you're watching, like, do more animate, like, you see like how you've done the comic versions that might be based on something that Sergeant Willie Pete was talking about or what have you. Yeah, I listened to him. I would say possibly animate it. Get like someone to do the voices of it as well and what have you, because that's what I'm doing as well. I think that would help. I think that would help because you're seeing a lot of people doing animated clips now. But the problem is with the animated clips that I'm seeing, I don't necessarily like the quality of the animation. I don't think it's as good. It's good for a little viral thing, but I don't want to be a grown man 43 telling people I do artwork and that's what I'm making. My artwork needs to be, it needs to have the proper, it needs to look, put it this way, I need to be able to put that on my LinkedIn profile and, I get the respect I deserve. But if it's like a little sketch with no tone, just flat colors, nah, that ain't it. But Alex has got the art style, definitely. But I think he should kind of make some of his stuff more motion comics with voices to go with it, to make it be a bit more impactful. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to use your own voice either. That's another thing. Because I'm doing a lot of voice impersonations. I'll tell you that now. I've done certain US accents and all the rest of it. Like I've done.
Before I let you go, what's up with the Beyonce the father, man? Was that real? Did that really happen? Because I can't keep a lot of shit going on. The Beyonce's father in South London, where you did a skit. Did that really happen? Yeah, it did. So basically, my friend was there. My friend was because he came and did like some music seminar, like just teaching people about the music industry. But basically, someone must have came in, and what happened was they was being a bit disrespectful because they saw their friend in the sitting, and they just wanted to exchange details. But you're doing that while Matthew's talking. So another guy just says, yo, like, what are you doing? And blah, blah, blah. And then they just ended up arguing. And the next thing you know, they're up in each other's faces. And a man's talking about, I've got gun charges. And I don't know what that's got to do with the price of bread, but that's what he was doing. So, and my friend Zenobia, she was there. And she was just recording the whole thing, doing a selfie. And just like, that's why there's a picture of a woman holding the selfie, like that's her. Because I drew that picture of her already. So I just put her in it. And she said, you know what? And she said to me, Wayne, if the beehive comes for me, you better take my neck. You better untag me. I said, nope. So yeah, big up Zenobia. She's the one that recorded that moment. And then I thought, you know what? Let me just make a funny animation to go with it. And then, yeah. So yeah, it did happen. No, the guys didn't have balaclavas. There were no guns really. But, that's what it is. So yeah. Well, I'm glad you, man, was able to do this, bro. Real talk, man. It was a pleasure having you on here, man. And before we go, like I said, I got Gatron coming out. I'm currently working on Agent Solo issue 4. I got the Agent Solo statue hidden pretty soon. Once I get the product box getting made and all that, and I'll be letting the date on that. I got some shit coming on with Rob Liefeld again. That's pretty much about it for right now, man. I'm just staying busy. Is there anything else you want to let everybody know, Rain, before you rat out? Yeah, like I said, I've just got my animated clips coming for that show that I'm doing. It's called Here's What I'm Saying. So that's, it's a play on words. Here's what I'm saying, because it's in the barbershop and the hairdressers. We're going to be bringing out more comics in the future from, Hardwired, Chaos Kingdom, Baccarus, Night Soul. That's by Felicia. So yeah, like we're going to be bringing out our comics again, but at the moment, I'm just focusing on getting this animation work done because I've got quite a lot of voice actors that I'm paying to do stuff for me as well. So yeah, that's the thing that I kind of want to put out because I kind of feel that moving images does a bit better than comics now, just based upon how people consume content online. Okay. Yeah. And also, it's an opportunity to do something different than all these podcasters talking about high value and how much money the man's got to earn. I tagged you in the video skit, bro. Did you see it? I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I
You see
saw
it?
it. I've
What he
already
said?
seen it, but I saw it again. I've already seen it, but yeah, I like that guy. He's funny.
Yeah, he's like, ready to the podcast and stuff. Broke niggas, man. We can't do it. We can't pay. We can't
Let me
pay
tell you
all the
something.
bills.
The majority of these podcasters, they can't afford the camera that they're recording on. They don't even own it. I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
it's
they're
all
hiring.
cat, man. It's all cat. The high
Yeah,
value. They done hijacked Kevin Samuel shit. I mean, they hijacked this shit. I mean, everybody using all his videos and all talking about this high value shit now. It's out of control,
yeah.
bro.
Everyone's high value. Everyone's a 10 out of 10, and everyone needs to be a stay-at-home mum because their man's rich. And I don't know, man. Like yeah, I don't know how it works. My conclusion is that I think everyone that wants a high value man, I think he needs to be the plug. He needs to be like everyone needs to have
Exactly.
everyone needs to have a James St. Patrick. That's basically what it is. That's what it is.
Oh man. Well, it's good talking to you, bro. We're gonna do this again, man, for sure. We are. That's not
100%,
good. That's not
100%.
the question. We're gonna do it. But it was a pleasure having you, and thank everyone who tuned in, man. Shout out to all you guys. So, who else? Adam Creations, Tough Nut Turtles. Thanks to all y'all, man. Thanks for tuning in. You guys have a blessed day. Y'all keep creating if you are. Don't give up. Just keep on grinding,
Take care,
baby.
brother.
You too, man.
Cool.
All right.